hey, if you're like me, promoting your content compared to actually creating the content can sort of feel a lot more difficult because you put in all this upfront effort and then it's like, oh man, I still have to do, according to other marketers, 50% more of the work, because the first 50% is actually creating it, so say the gurus, and the other 50% you need to spend actually promoting it. And it's probably good advice, but you still feel like, man, like that's a lot of work, and shouldn't I get on to the next blog article? And I don't want to spam people. I mean, come on, like, is that how you promote content? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over 7 effective ways to promote your content and boost traffic. And these are easy, fast, efficient ways that you can promote your content, all right? And these are proven, so there's no guessing. Some of them are for beginners and some of them are a little bit more advanced, okay? But the probability of these working is very, very high because they have worked extremely well for the other businesses that we've studied to uncover them. So let's just get right into it. And this, by the way, is part of a larger article that you can check out if you're watching this on YouTube in the description. The link is in the description. It's right under that like button, which you can tap on the way down to that link, because that link in the description will get you over to the full resource, which gives you 101 ways to effectively and efficiently promote your content to boost and grow your traffic. All right. So that being said, let's jump right in to the first way to promote your content, which is simply, and this one's obviously for beginners, but put social sharing buttons on your site. There are a lot of websites that don't have these, but specifically, I'm going to tell you some pro tips on this. So if you're kind of a little more advanced and you're listening to this, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm about to like click away right now. Just hold on just a second. I'm going to give you something that you may not have thought of on this point. Okay, so adding social sharing buttons in terms of the laws of sales funnel physics that I created here as part of AutoGrow's framework, the 11 laws of sales funnel physics. It's part of our proven framework for understanding why landing pages and funnels convert or don't convert and what to do about it. Kind of like, it's kind of like actual laws of physics. You throw a ball up, okay, the ball's going to come back down, and you can predict that with scientific certainty and say where it's going to land and all that good stuff. So in this case, though, why do social sharing buttons work? They work because of the law of visibility, which basically says that anything that is highly visible, people will convert on. In this case, social sharing buttons are highly visible along usually the side or at the top of blog articles. On mobile, it might be at the bottom. And this gives people a very clear and very easy way to share your content if they connect with it in some way, or if they want to bring and give that resource over to someone else on Facebook or Pinterest or wherever else. So that's why it works. And some research to go along with this. In 2019, 97% of the traffic, this is from 2019, 97% of the traffic from blog posts came from social media, according to Orbit Media, 97%. I'm actually really surprised by that. I thought that it would be less because, for AutoGrow, we get most of our traffic from organic. According to HubSpot, it's possible to get more social mentions, 7 times more, in fact, simply by adding social sharing buttons. And the tools that you can use for easily adding social buttons to your website, for example, if you have WordPress, a WordPress website, which we often, very common project for us to develop for our clients is, many of which are agencies or other startups and growing businesses. So it would be share this and add this. They let you quickly add these buttons and customize them to include on your blog post pages. Now, here's the pro tip that I want to give you on this point. There's usually an option of whether or not to show the like count or the share count. And ideally, in an ideal situation, it would only show the share count that if it was like over a certain number, right? But if you are, especially if you are starting out and you don't have like a ton of traffic, but programmatically, if this is possible, you want it to not show the zero shares. Basically, you want it to not show zero shares, because this is a form of negative social proof. Okay, it makes it look like, oh, like, is anyone visiting this website? Like, all their blog posts say 0 or maybe 1. How much traffic are they really getting? How long has this company been around? It's negative social proof, right? You don't want to be advertising that. So by default, I recommend just turning that off, or set it to be triggered if you are a programmer or you find a different tool that allows you to do that. Set it to trigger to show the share count maybe after the first 10 shares, for example. All right. So effective way to promote your content number 2 is by publishing your social media posts at the best, most optimum times. I'm going to tell you what those times are. So according to Sprout Social, the best times to post on social media, on each social media platform, the best day for Facebook and Instagram is Wednesday. The best day to post on Twitter, on average, are Wednesdays and Fridays. And the best times to post on LinkedIn are Wednesdays and Fridays as well. Okay? So Wednesdays and Fridays for Twitter and LinkedIn. Okay? And Wednesday for Facebook and Instagram. Number 3, for how to promote your content. You can promote it using videos on social media, videos. And especially because you really want to take this one to heart and just think on it too, strategically think on it, because visuals in general on social media, it's like the currency of social media in terms of what users are interacting with, what they're seeing. And moreover too, you have to kind of think like Facebook and some of these other platforms, because their interest and part of the way that they are maximizing their revenue is by sending steadily less and less traffic, and kind of raising up the walls on their walled garden slightly higher and higher. So they're sending less and less traffic off platform. Why? Because that makes them less money when if they do that, and it makes them more if they keep people on the site. So for that reason, if you're relying just on links, for example, oh, here's a link to my latest blog posts, that's probably not as good or as effective as just saying, okay, Facebook is going to do everything in its power now and just progressively into the future to try to keep people on its platform, because, hey, that's how it monetizes its traffic, right? So in the spirit of that, just putting out a video to go, either maybe to pair with your social content, because ultimately, what do you care about, right? The strategy behind content marketing is, the principle of reciprocity. You give something and people see you as an authority, right? And, over the long term, they want to either refer you business or become a customer or a client, right? So think about it from Facebook's point of view, and then kind of align your strategy here, for example, by using video, okay? And some research stats to back this up. According to Sprout Social, live video is becoming a vital tool for social marketers, and 42% of them have already developed a strategy for Facebook Live. From BuzzSumo, video is the best Facebook post format and gets at least 59% more engagement than other post types. There you go. And finally, by including a video, according to HubSpot, in your post, organic traffic can increase by 157% from search results, according to HubSpot. All right. Here's tactic number 4 for promoting your content to grow your traffic. Simply use relevant hashtags on Twitter. Okay. And I'm just going to go over this one real quick because this one made the list, but I really don't recommend Twitter as far as being a great source for most businesses as far as like growing your traffic. And it's really good for personal brands. It's the engagement with corporate brands, unless you're, like, I don't know, Pepsi or Doritos or something like this, it's really low. So you want to see it more as like a personal brand channel for really networking, and you can build it up over time. And similar in terms of the video content, uh, video engagement on YouTube, rather on Twitter, is also extremely high, similar to what I was saying in the previous example for Facebook. So posting video there as well can be really helpful. But in terms of using hashtags, okay, tweets with one or more hashtags are 55% more likely to be retweeted according to Buffer. All right, and tweets with hashtags receive 2 times as much engagement as tweets without them, again, according to Buffer. And I'm certain that this same tactic and principle applies, and even better in the case of Instagram, as far as getting more exposure and traffic, all right, and more attention. So use those hashtags. Because you're just making it easy for people to find a pathway to actually discovering your content. Number 5, so you can promote your content by adding Instagram stories. Adding Instagram stories is the tactic here. So over 400 million Instagram users share Instagram stories every single day, according to Statista. 400 million. Instagram stories get almost 10% of all ad spending on Facebook. They represented over almost 10% of all ad spending on Facebook in 2019, according to Bloomberg. And top brands on Instagram are seeing a 4.2% per follower engagement rate, which is 58 times higher than on Facebook and 120 times higher than on Twitter. Okay, the Twitter one is, maybe a little bit less surprising just because of what I said about Twitter previously, but there you go. Add Instagram stories to promote your content. You can also promote your content, number 6, by making infographics. In just 2 years, searches for infographics increased by 600% according to Unbounce, and blog articles that include infographics generate an average of 178% more inbound links and 72% more views than any other type of post, according to HubSpot. Right? So I constantly see Neil Patel, for example, saying, just kind of scratching his head when he's, typing the blog post or he's being interviewed on something. And it's something that we haven't done either, but it just sticks in my mind because he's like, infographics still work, but no one's really doing them. But I still do them and it works. So I keep getting more traffic, and I'm just like, oh, got to do it. So infographics work. I encourage you to test it out as well. And it doesn't have to be, doesn't have to cost you $1,000 to get a decent infographic either. So it doesn't have to be super expensive. Finally, number 7, promote content by making an explainer or how-to video. This type of blog post gets 2 times more shares than other types, according to SEMrush. How-to blog posts, going back to Neil Patel, based on some recent research that he did where he analyzed over 5 billion blog articles, and not sure how exactly he did that because I looked back at the survey data in terms of how these things were broken down, but he must have had a pretty big team of virtual assistants, I guess, to go through this just on a qualitative data basis. But anyway, he found that 31%, the highest, most shared type of content, were how-to posts by 31%, compared to 18% for listicles or list-based articles. Okay, so some interesting data there. And so again, it can either be a blog post in the case of, as the research from Neil Patel showed that I just quoted, or it can be some sort of an explainer video to go with it. And it's interesting too, personal story on this is I made a tutorial for ActiveCampaign like 5 years ago at this point. And it was just a simple video, like, here's how you set up your basic automation. And we still, to this day, we get dozens of people watching that video every single day. It's like over 25,000 views, something like this. And it's just, it's a little funny because it's, it's a simple video, but apparently people and the YouTube algorithm gods find it useful. So people keep watching it and liking it and getting value from it. So those were just 7 ways that you can promote your content. All right. And if you want an additional, never do math live, 94 ways to promote your content, go check out the blog article in the description. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link is in the description right below that like button, which I appreciate if you tap it, if you appreciated this content and this video. You can also subscribe, share, leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. If you're watching this on autogrow.co, please share and leave a comment as well. Appreciate you guys. And on the full resource, you can find, again, 94 different ways, 101 minus 7, 94. Good, we're good. You can find it 101 ways to promote your blog content. All right, so check it out. And also check us out if you are interested in delegating all of your digital marketing tasks, including a lot of tasks related to or around promoting your content, or creation of content, creation of lead magnets, for example, writing the copy, designing it, putting the social share buttons on your site, optimizing your site for mobile, doing this sort of work for your clients if you're an agency or consultant, whatever the case may be. With AutoGrow, our value proposition to you is that you can delegate all your digital marketing tasks without the headaches of hiring. How does that work? Well, AutoGrow is like project management software. You simply log in and you can either select from our templated library, different project and task ideas, or you can create something custom. You put it into the system, type up some notes, maybe some examples that you like that are similar, and you click the button that says make it real, and you sit back, relax, and watch as we bring your idea to life. And you can watch the progress bar as it goes from 0 to 100%. There's also a live chat, so you can ask questions at any time, and it's also just an easy way for us to communicate with you once the work is complete. All right, so check it out. We currently have a special going on for it's called a $7 for 7-day trial. So basically your first week is $7, and it's just an enormous value. And we just wanted to make it really easy for you to try us out. So go check it out at autogrow.co. All right. So until next time, as always, keep converting, stay focused, and keep auto growing your business. I'll see you soon.